What's going on, guys? Kyle here. Today's video we're going to talk about the top 10 tips for Legends of Neverland. Let's jump into it. Alright guys, so this is going to be my top 10 tips for Legends of Neverland to get you going, big success, and to be doing every single day. If you have any others to add, put them in the comment section down below. But my first one is probably going to save you a lot of resources and swapping and even some boxes. Now, as you know, at level 102, you can change classes. So you can go from Lance Book, like you see above right there, to, let's say, Sword Book. But what happens is it actually changes the equipment you currently have on. So it'll turn my Lance into a sword with the same stats. And if it's God Bless, it'll keep God Bless. Now, what is interesting is you can use this in a very interesting way that if let's say my book was God Bless, I could take the God Bless book off, put a regular book on, swap the classes, and make my main book equip that God Bless that I have to there, and that will also unlock the next spirit infusion. So you can use the same weapon of that gear tier to unlock the next spirit infusion for both weapons. This is also why, as you see, I'm holding on to this sword so I can where's it at? So you can hold on to, let's say, this sword. If I had a stat on the sword that I wanted on one of my weapons, I could change my classes, do the extract, and then swap back to my class, and everything will stay the same. It's a great way to keep your stats as you're going up and not lose out on extra weapons. Next is daily payouts. You want to keep in mind the two big ones I'm going to talk about here is Elemental Realm. It actually pays out at 5 a.m. server time at the daily reset. So you have all day to do it. I usually like to do, as you'll see right here, 1 and 2, and then wait till I do my sweep of events with my buffs that I'll talk about later on, and then do 3 to get a better score. Another one that can definitely be the one to look out for is here at Ladder Arena. And why this is a big deal is if you do your attacks early, then you're beating up on people's current score, and then they log in, and then they take advantage on attacking you or other people with bigger scores at the time, and they get further up. As well as the best time is 9:55 server time is the payout. So if you want to do some attacks, 9:40, 9:45, and then try to get to sneak to a higher rank right before payout, that is going to be very, very good, as we see the daily rewards right here, especially top 3 to get this 3 through 5 star crystal. Number 3 is eat your food. So let's teleport back. So what I mean by this is fishing is probably the most important, well, definitely the most important life skill. But if we see over here, cooking, self-eat dish right here for these stats. You have to unlock some down here with research. I have all those researches on my Discord. But just as an example, this one is plus 120 crit. If you eat this, you will have that stat for 2 hours. And you want to do this before you do your events. So bath starts at 7:30, ends about 7:40. guild boss starts about 742. So right at between the 740 742, you should eat this, and then you're good from 740 to 940, and then fit all your stuff into that 2 hour window so that you'll be buffed for guild boss, you'll be buffed for top league, which is at 8, and you'll be buffed for other events that pop up in that time, including Thunder War at 9. You can push that into your ladder attacks. You can push this into your elemental realm attacks. Any of your dailies, you need to be eating your food. Easy ladder and shrine wins. There's 2 ways to do this. I'll do one ladder attack right now to show you. I need to find someone strong enough that I can actually fight. Everyone here I can kind of auto. Let me see. Try to find someone that I need to actually fight. Here we go. Someone literally the same strength as me. So what you can do is 2 things. One, you can get right up on top of them during the countdown, CC them, and then have it over. This isn't the fairies or skills I would really use. It was just an example that during the countdown, you can move and take advantage of the positioning. Also, you could take advantage of their class. Right here at the screen, you can see their classes. First one right here is a lance. Middle one right there is a lance. The one on the right is a sword. You could take advantage of these things, especially these. For example, lance normally starts with the 3rd skill, Dragon Knight, which just jumps on top of you. You can time it so when they disappear, reappear on top of you, you dash to the side, and then use AoE and they die. Or if they're a ranger, you can, like I said, walk up on top of them. The sword user, you can kill them from range. With priest skills, you can also knock them out of their skills. This is mostly important. Ladder's generally pretty easy for most people. This really comes into play with Shrine, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, doing your attacks. You should also eat your food for that. But for the ones that you have to actually fight, you can take advantage of these same things. Getting up into melee, knock up, use the CC, time it so you do CC, CC, and then your CC fairy hits. Something like a Primrose, Millium, Sakura, things like this. And then just kill them during the time they're stunned. This is the most important in Shrine because any damage you take takes away from your score. Spend on the last day, not the first. So events go live Wednesday morning or Tuesday night, depending on how you put it, midnight. But more events come through. So we have the time-loaded link, we have the selection packs, we have the treasure. Slot machine is over, but it's still sitting there for some reason. We had the consumption and the recharge. Now, other events can pop up, generally on like a Friday or a Saturday. Also, we have the weekend shop that comes through, so you can spend your Kabbalah there for the consumption event, which is usually the best time, especially if you're going to do summons. So you kind of feed into the events, as well as something may pop up over the weekend, and you can double up or even triple up on some events. For example, like I said, the weekend shop pops up. That'll be total consumption because I'll be using Kabbalah for that, but that would also be time limited link because I'll be buying links for that. Next is stats, not CP. So as an example, if we look, this person is about the same, almost exact same CP as me. And if we look at their stats, they have okay crit, pretty bad crit immunity. Their break and block are And then their stats are pretty low, like their damage increase, damage reduction. They have really high HP steal rate, which is whatever. But knowing they have these stats, I can build to get through them. Uh, for example, if you were Bo Book, you would just always crit this person. If you built towards a higher crit rate, you would come over his crit immunity and go right through him. If his break was higher, I'd be a little concerned because I have a lot of block. But if you see they don't have almost any block, then you don't really need to build break. This also goes to a meta stats for your server or cluster. You need to figure out who are the people I'm fighting, who are the people above me or in my range that I need to actually worry about, and make your stats based off of their stats. Fate cards. Red is not always the best. So if we go to fate cards, I need to find an example here. Perfect example. So as you see right here, this is the first 3 stats are guaranteed. If we come to the book right here for that one in particular, you'll see on the right, crit, damage increase, question mark. That question mark is decided when you get the card and can never be changed. So, so this one got an attack for that third roll. This one got damage increase. Same card. This one's miles better. Even though it's only 0.6, which sounds like a really small number, it adds up. Especially it's 1.2 now because there's 2 of them. You are looking for these more percentages as well as, like right there, that's a really good one. So a lot of people are going for red cards specifically because, red is higher in the color order than gold, but gold/yellow, you're going to get more of these just from the dragon events, things like this. Getting one like this is going to be a lot easier than getting one like this, as well as it'll be easier to reroll and get better stats on the bottom right there. Use alts. So something a lot of people take advantage of, don't really pay attention to, is that there's a lot of resources you get per day. 2 of the bigger ones are IOs, inscription and orders, just for being in a top league, or elemental realm. So generally, alt that you just make on the side isn't going to score really high in elemental realm, but what they can do is if the server gets to 130, 140, 150, generally people aren't going to be in that 110 range, right? So you make an alt, it sits in the 110 range, and then you just collect gold IOs every week, and then you can set specific times so you can kind of sell it to yourself for cheap, as well as if you make an alt, I've already done the resource transfer thing where you can move, you can buy like the fun plan for $10 and turn it into like $100 and then transfer it effectively over to your main account through acorns or sapphires, not directly Kabbalah, as well as your life skills. So if your life skills are also a decent one to look for. So like the crystal devastation, any of these things that you will get eventually, but if you want to get it quicker, you can sell it to yourself over the exchange, as well as the books. So if we come here, trading port, ascension right here. So this is 100. So for example, if my alt was level 100 and my main was level 109, I would be able to buy this from my alt, or I could still buy it in the 110s. It'd just be less for me. but this effectively allows you to get double your daily chests if you're willing to acorns or turn Kabbalah into acorns. IO basics. So I did a video really recently, especially with the cores, but generally just knowing the basics of IOs, knowing that if you're not going to feed one for an enhanced cost, you can do +3 to one of them, and then dismantle it. And then, for example, you see I'll get 200 right there for getting rid of it. But if I put 1,000 into it to bring it up to +3, I would make 2,100. So that's 1,000 into it, 200 right there, 1,200. It's +900 tree essence for doing this strategy, as well as you definitely want to do this for all purples that you get. As well as just knowing what stats to go for. I've made that whole video. I'm not going to jump into it now. Last, number 10 is Elemental Realm mechanics. And this is one a lot of people have trouble with. So each Elemental Realm has their own mechanics, but there's also the mechanic for Elemental Realm as a whole. I'm going to jump over both pretty quickly right now. Fire right here, you want to bring Slaughter because the boss goes down on HP and he goes down relatively quickly. You also want to save Enathria and Chestnut Rose as your secondary one, and then use your whatever other two you're using on the first, and then you start the fight, use your full rotation, use your 2 fairies. Once he gets low, swap Chestnut Rose, then Enathria. Chestnut Rose increases the damage he takes for fire weakness, and then Enathria does a bunch of damage because he's low HP. You're able to jump on top of that. Wind, it's a lot of enemies. Bring your AoE, especially time your Dandelion. Water, you just have to effectively just keep fighting her. Ignore most of the things that she does. If she puts the puddles on the ground, dodge at the last second and keep using your skills. Earth, make sure you have Primrose on and save her skill for when he puts the barrier on, because when he puts the barrier on himself, it reduces the damage he takes. Now, as far as for the entire event, you want to look at the battle environment, take advantage of the battle environment bonuses, as well as the biggest thing is going to be down here at the bottom. Deployed flower fairies, 55 total star level, attribute plus 55. You will get a bonus for it being fire. So you want to start the match with full fire fairies for fire specifically, and you want to use the highest ones you have. So for example, I would come in, go fire, and then 1, 2, 3, and even here I would put 4. And then on a second team, I would put what I really want to use, which would be, let's say, to do fire, and holy. So, and then I would start the match with the first one to get that bonus attribute. And then once I'm in the battle, I would swap to this one because it would be better for my combo. I would make sure their wills are correct for whatever I'm doing, and then go about it that way. This also works for most events in the game. You just want to pay attention to what the requirements are to get the bonus, enter with the bonus, and then swap to your best build. That's my top 10 tips to jump into the game. You definitely need to know. Till next time, guys.